Hey gang, so what's good everyone? It's your boy MJ Trades. Another day, another dollar, and that's what's up. So today, as I promised, I'll be doing a top-down analysis on how I approach the market every Sunday noon as I prepare for the coming week. Okay, so stay alert because I'll be dropping them heat and gems right here. So you know how we do it. So we go straight to the point or direct to the point, and I'll be looking at Euro USD. I'll be looking at GBP AUD and some more other pairs as we move. So very quickly, direct to the point. You know how we do it. We keep it short and sweet as always. So when I open my chart, the first thing I do is I go to the monthly time frame just to see the overall view of what the market is doing or has been doing for the last at least a couple of months. Okay, so currently, as I can see on the Euro USD, is that we have a very beautiful downward momentum. Okay, I don't need all this data previously because this is way too much data. I'm an intraday trader, and sometimes I swing, but not on the monthly. So on the monthly, after I have understood what the market is doing, I move to the weekly time frame, and on the weekly I start marking up my areas of support and resistance. Okay, now you should know that the market happen to respect more often than not the support and resistance. These are prices that when the market taps, it gets a reaction from. Okay, so I'll just draw what I see from the bear charts. That's how I do it. What I see from the bear charts, first of all, is that we are coming off a very beautiful support trend line here, where above we bought, above we bought, above we bought, and above we got some reaction where buyers were trying to push the market just as they did on the previous occasions. Now, that qualifies for me to get an area of value or a value that is respected. I look for value that has at least three touches. Okay, three significant touches. Remember, we are on the weekly time frame now. If I have four, the better for me. Okay, so I now start looking for support and resistance levels where the market is touching or tapping and respecting. All right, so around here, I see that we have something like this somewhere around here. Let's just pull it a little bit higher. Somewhere around here we have a very beautiful support area. Okay, why? Because as I've said, you count your touches and reaction. Okay, remember we are on the weekly time frame. Above we buy, above we buy, below we sell. You can see the reaction of the sells, and here we had a reaction which did not hold for the sellers. They expected to give this kind of a push as it did previously, but it failed. You see, so people were trapped here, and here again on the same level we got an impulse move from the buyers for a whole good week. All right, for those who have been in the market for long, you know that each candle here represents a week. All right, so for the whole week here we got buy momentums. Also here we had a reaction. If we go down to the daily time frame, it will be well visible on the daily time frame. So on the weekly time frame, we don't want to congest our charts with a lot of information, so I drop down. I tend to focus on the main zones on the weekly to avoid congesting, because more often than not I will not be looking at the weekly as the week goes on, because it's only one candle that prints and it ends at the printing on Friday. Okay, so right here you can see that we have a potential head and shoulder on the weekly. Okay, this is the left shoulder, this is the head, and we are coming to tap in the next right shoulder, possibly for reversals or for an impulse move to the upside. Okay, so on the weekly we keep the chart as clean as they are right now. I won't necessarily have to draw anything on the top side or the upper side, just to avoid my charts having congestion. But if for this video's purpose, I'll just maybe indicate that we have a very beautiful zone somewhere around here. Okay, a very good reactive zone somewhere around here, and I use these lines just to at least identify my zones before I mark them up. Okay, so when I drop down to the daily time frame, okay, on the daily time frame things become a little bit more. Okay, so things become a little bit more clearer, as you can see. Sorry for the hitches. Now on the zones that we now on the daily, the only thing I need to do is just adjust my zones according to what I see, or to the precision of the candles, somewhere around there. And on the daily, you can see that these zones are now well seen. So above, we bought for days. Okay, we got reaction here. We broke the market, came down and did a retest, beautiful retest that continued a very strong rally to the downwards. These are the same people that we saw, the same candle that we saw on the weekly time frame, just giving a reaction. But the move that was expected here, probably or possibly, the sellers expected a move just like this way. Okay, so that is how I interpret my charts. But as you can see here, the sales failed. Okay, now if you move forward to these zones around here, somewhere around here, now you'll see that the head and shoulder that we were talking about on the weekly time frame is now well visible. Okay, so on the daily time frame, now the candles are more. So this is what we are expecting, possibly. All right. So if I just pull this aside, or I just delete it for now because we don't need it necessarily. So you'll see that we have a very, very strong support area around here. Let me just get the support area somewhere around here. So remember one thing, that you cannot be 100% accurate. So you draw what you see as per that particular moment, then adjust as the market continues to print. All right. So as simple as we had discussed it previously. So above we had significant buys here, then buyers still came in here, we had buyers here, and we had a reaction of buyers around here that did not hold. They possibly expected to push the market as it did on the previous touches, but as you can see, it failed and got influenced by this beautiful trend line. Now there's something that happens when we have this kind of trend line here. Now this is a gem I'm dropping here. Okay, now more often than not, when we have a strong trend line just as this one here with at least 4 touches, according to what I've seen in the recent charts and previous charts, is that it forms something that looks almost like a right angled triangle. As you can see, this is a right angled triangle. If you can just see what you when this way, you can see the triangle how it looks. Okay, so don't mind my drawing. Okay, so this is a right angle triangle, and more often than not, when I see this particular pattern, according to my strategy, I am supposed to swing this particular market. Okay, so in most cases, when this happens, the breakout happens, as you can see here. Let me just tap on my pen once more. Now the breakout happens and the market proceeds to complete the move at least to the start or halfway of the right angled triangle. Okay, so this is a swing that we took some time back. It was I think a month back, if I'm not wrong. We took our sales here, we had our stop losses somewhere around here, and our take profit all the way down. All right. Okay, so we just pulled that out for a minute. Okay, so I'm taking a closer look to the market, and I see that this zone supposedly is supposed to be like around this price here. Okay, something like that. Whereas where you can see, if you stretch it back, you'll get more reactions and or more touches previously, as you can see, like that. So remember that we are looking for a zone that has as many touches as possible. The more the touches, the more stronger the zone is. Remember, these zones represent price where people or the institutions react to the market. These are favorable prices, discounts, and whatnot. Okay, so as you look closer, you'll see that we had a good reaction here. Then we had a reaction here, and below we sold. When the market broke below, we sold. Above we buy, above we buy, above we buy, above we buy, as you can see. Okay, so when the market managed to break this area here, as you can see, the market gave a beautiful reaction after breaking out impulsively. Okay, then we had sells here. So you can understand that this particular area or area price or area of value, according to what you know, is that it's very strong. The market reacts to this zone more often than not. So when you go down to the lower time frames, you'll see that we've been in a consolidation for the longest. So currently, now that we know that on the weekly time frame, this area here, I'll just highlight it on the weekly time frame. This is an area that we have seen it reacts or behaves as a head and shoulder, possibly head and shoulder, until this shoulder takes off. That's when it becomes a head and shoulder, and that's it. Okay, so we do not just buy blindly or automatically. Okay, so we wait for confirmation from the market. Now I'll just drop down to the 4-hour time frame to show us what we have here. So on the 4-hour time frame, we've been in a very, very solid consolidation phase. As you can see here on the 4-hour time frame, I'll just show you guys the charts that I have already marked and how I mark them with different colors on different time frames just to avoid confusions. Okay. So on the 4-hour time frame, let me just keep that there. So on the 4-hour time frame, as you can see, we had this area around here where the market has been consolidating, and this area has really pulled out a lot of people. Okay, remember what we are looking for. We are looking for an area of value that has more than 3 to 4 touches. Okay, so if you see here, we above we buy, just say it the way I do. Above we buy, above we buy, above we buy, then we broke strongly. Below we sell, and as you can see here, we almost touched it, but and as much as it did not get to that point, it still sold. It sold again above it bought, and below it sold. So this is the 4-hour time frame. All right, so I mark it differently just to keep my eyes to understand what the market is doing and how it is reacting. All right, so on the 4-hour time frame, this is what we have. We took these cells off the head and shoulders here after we saw that we had a beautiful head and shoulder here. As you can see, this is a shoulder. Okay, this is a head, and this is a secondary shoulder, as you can see. And on the same head and shoulder, we still had a double top. So these are some of the things that you have to keep in mind as you're looking at the market. Okay, just allow your eyes to see them. Okay, get used to the charts. It's the only way. Okay, get your eyes to get used to the chart. So two patterns at the same level, what does that give you? Added confluences. Now it strengthens your point of entry. All right, so that is what we have on the euro USD. Maybe if I can show you from my charts what I'm expecting on euro. So these are my real charts where I've saved my my things. This is what I have. You can see it is exact. Maybe we can go to the weekly, daily, and you compare the same. Okay, so this is the same thing that we had on the weekly. This touches here, then the head and shoulder. Sorry, it might be not as visible because we have things that are drawn on the lower time frames. So if you go back to the daily time frame, you'll see that the markings are different. Now on the daily time frame, I mark with a gray structure, as you can see here. Now this is exactly what I'm expecting on the 4-hour time frame. Okay, so it is the exact same thing that we have discussed about. Let me just go to the daily to show you something. These are some of the areas that I have marked. You see, where my reactions are more strong, more stable, and whatnot. All right, so I don't want this video to take so long. So we took these cells around here, somewhere around here on the 4-hour time frame. This is the hour time frame we take entries on. We took cells somewhere around, I think somewhere around here. Then we had our exits somewhere around here. I'll make a video on the same later on in the week. So currently what I'm expecting, it's either the market agrees that this is a weekly head and shoulder and pulls back up for buys, or it breaks, retests, and falls to complete this move to the lower lows of these orders here, right? So we have some orders here, and that is what I have on the euro dollar. Another thing that we can look at should be the maybe GBP Aussie is the last thing that we can look at. just to avoid to allow our video to be so long, right? So on the GBP, the same thing. We go to the monthly, we try and understand what exactly is happening to the pound and the Australian dollar. Okay, so as you can see, you just identify that we've been on an heavy monthly rally. Okay, that is all I need to know. Rally on the buys. Okay, so I then drop down to my weekly time frame. As you can see, on the weekly, I see my trend line. I love it when the markets give me a trend line on higher time frames, because this is just an assurity that the week is going to be good, as we will be targeting the trend lines and whatnot. Okay, so on the weekly, we see that we have this beautiful trend line. Now, GBP hours is quite choppy. You might not exactly get a straightforward structure on the weekly time frame. So I'll just drop down to the daily time frame now that you know what is going on. And on the daily time frame, we have a very beautiful structure. Let's see. You can see that the candles are a little bit choppy, gappy. Yeah, but that's how they happen. So I'll just see that we have a double top here, a double top with a head and shoulder. Now, nothing makes the market move as these patterns when they are combined, a double top and a head and shoulder. As you can see, and we are on the weekly time frame. So this is our head and shoulder. Sorry. So I'll just do that again. This is our shoulder, left shoulder. We had a head, then we had a right shoulder, and the market moved. Okay, and I'll pull that aside. And on the double top, we had this pull to the upside, and it gave us our M structure, which is our double top, and the neckline of the double top, and the market moved down, as you can see. Now these things just make it beautiful. We took these cells. For those who are in our group, free group and whatsoever, they took these cells with us. We had some cells here. I'll show that on the lower time frame. Okay, so that's what we have on the daily time frame. Okay, so we are on the daily time frame. Then I'll want to mark up something interesting somewhere around here. Now you have to really, and this you have to put your eyes in practice for this. They just don't come because of being like you want to you want to put your eyes on it hours and hours and hours. Now we have this beautiful structure here. So you can see that above we bought, the market broke below and sold, above it bought, and so on and so forth. Now you've got the drill, I believe so. So maybe you can stretch this to capture or get more zones that are impactful. All right. So and that is the daily time frame. Now when you move down to the 4-hour time frame, now we are expecting, just before I move to the daily, we are expecting that when the market, or if the market comes to this trend line once more, we will be taking our swings around here, our buy swings, maybe to this particular highs, because as you can see previously, the market got very beautiful swings or buys from this area for days. Remember, we are on the daily time frame. For days, we got these buys moving. So we are expecting, if not the same kind of impactful buy, I think half of the movement that was covered previously should be covered here. Okay, so maybe something like this. This is a 1:3, almost 4. So maybe something, maybe 1:3.5, thereabout. Then we hold for weeks, because at some point we get to swing our trades. Okay, so again we had a very beautiful zone here. Now these zones, you, as I've said previously, you have to get your eyes, put in the hours, lest you will not be seeing this zone as they are supposed to be seen. Okay, we had this zone somewhere around here, and they were a little bit visible on, yeah, maybe let me just get them well. Okay, let me get them well. Okay, so this is what we had. Maybe you can see this better on the 4-hour time frame. And some of these structures may look ridiculous to you, but if you get used to the market, whatever you see is what you get. That is how and what gives you the leverage or the better hand in the market. So you can see above we bought, above we bought. That's what I tell myself every time. Above we buy, below we sell. So you can see below we had some. Okay, so as you can see, above we buy, below we sell, and whatnot, and so forth and so go. Okay, so we had a double top here. Below the market came and retested the double top, and we had a smooth fall. All right, same thing here, same thing here. Now these areas you really have to train your eyes for them. Okay, so as you can see here, we took these buys. We had these buys here. We took buys last week. What was it, last week or last week? But one, we had our position somewhere here. We stuck through it. We had our TPs 1:2, somewhere around there, and our stop losses somewhere around, I think somewhere around there, because we had a risk reward ratio of 2.5, somewhere around there. Okay, so these buys, we took them because we realized that we've seen significant buy reactions above this support and resistance area. Okay, so that is how we took our buys, and as you can see the reactions here, that video will be coming out soon, so keep it $1,000,000 pips to stay updated. So the market right now, you can see that it's trying to react off this head and shoulder with a double top. So probably or possibly we should see some reactions. The market should drop to these areas here, somewhere around here, then get some reaction like this, then possibly to the upside or break to continue with the sales. So I'll just share this my real-time analysis on the GBP hours. So on the GBP hours, this is what we have from the daily time frame. I think this is what I have saved. You can see the coloring that I have now. The gray means that I colored this thing according on to the daily time frame. Okay, so you can see I also have the highlighted potential weekly swings. All right, and it is visible on my H4 what I'm expecting. Now currently, as you can see, I use Owanda on my charts because you can see now the candles are not as choppy as they looked on the previous analysis. Yeah, because different brokers tend to give you different chart or candlestick prints. So this is what I have, exact thing I've shared with you. So these are the buys we took somewhere around here. These are the buys that I was talking about. I took them around here, took my profits here. Then we awaited. Let me just drop down quickly to the 4-hour time frame. On the 4-hour time frame, we awaited a break of structure, as you can see, as it did. Look at this one. Okay, so we had above we buy, above we buy, above we buy. Then the market broke and the sales came in. We took these sales. Okay, then after the sales, we waited for reaction here, reaction on second leg, and on the third leg we took our buys and took our TPs here. Okay, now why didn't we swing all this trade all the way to the upside? Because I feared for some reaction here. Again, we had hit our mark, 1:2 risk reward ratio, and as you can see on this particular area here, we had a reaction. What is a reaction? At least full 4-hour candle was printed here. So that is to show that sellers came in. There are some sellers who saw this, but they saw this area and took sales. So after this market did this, we waited for the breakout, and the breakout happened, and we waited for the retest, which failed to happen. So otherwise, if the retest happened according to what we expected, we would have taken these buy positions here. And I can show you that in our group. And we had a 1:2, around 1:2, 1:2.5, thereabout. Okay, that was our risk reward ratio. It gets beautiful with time when you understand what the market is doing and adapt to it accordingly. All right, so I don't know if I can quickly get that set up on GBP hours. Okay, but that is a video for another day. Let me just see. Let me see. So this is the setup we were waiting for. Okay, so the retest did not happen. As you can see, the retest failed to happen, and thus we did not take that particular trade. All right, so that is it for now. I think my part is done in the analysis. I've done all I could to bring you up to speed on how I approach the market, the interpretation I have, and I'll be doing more of these videos because I understand and I know that This is the backbone of it all right? So for now, I'll have to bid you all a goodbyes. Continue hitting that subscribe button, share the videos with your mates, and keep it $1 million pips. Thank you so much. Thank you for the support. See you next time. Bye bye.